Hello everybody. So for today I decided to make another tag because I'm kind of obsessed with tags lately for whatever reason. And I'm using the High Hope snowy tag image, which is rather fitting for a tag. And I decided to do a little bit of mini mass production. I used to do a lot of mass production back in the day and haven't had any or much reason for it lately, but when I used to get a lot of questions about my thought process and how I did it and streamline everything. And basically the easiest way to do it is just to do it in stages. So I stamped all the images out first with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink onto Kobo quality cardstock, and then I started my coloring, which I'm using Kobo markers, and I laid down my first color, which was the C3, did all 3 images, and then I go on to C5, do all 3 images, then C8, then C10, and just, yeah, do it all in stages. And that little highlight on his hat, I completely just colored right over it because I will fix that later on. It's just faster to color over something like that than to try and avoid it and start getting really finicky and time consuming with the coloring. So anything to make things simple and faster, especially with mass production, is kind of the name of the game, at least it is for me anyway. So once I did all that, I went on to color the little scarves, and I'm using R24, and then I went in with R27 and finally R29. And rather than working my way back, I just took the R24 again and blended it together because those 3 blend so nicely together. They're obviously my major go-to for any red coloring that I need to do. I like the color and they just blend easily, so that's why I stick with them. So once I did that, I wanted to add a little bit of green to make it more Christmassy. So I grabbed my G14 and colored the little hat band and the bottom of the tag. And then I added a bit of G07, just quick and simple. And then I'm just going to blend that all together again with the G14. So yeah, again, just doing one piece at a time and just doing in stages makes it go a lot faster if you're not opening and closing markers constantly. And then once I'm done that, for his little like body and face, I grabbed my BG000 and just went around the edges just to make everything look a little more white and finish it off. And then I'm just going to blend that really quickly with my colorless blender just to make it fade into the tag and into the cardstock a little bit better so that you don't have harsh lines. And then I trimmed it out with scissors, which again was super quick because it's just a simple image. And then to fix the little highlight, I just grabbed my Uni Posca white pen that I'd gotten in a haul weeks and weeks ago and haven't yet really had a chance to use it or see what I think of it. So I pulled it out and I'm actually really liking it so far. And while I had it out to do the highlights, I decided to add some pattern to the scarf by just drawing random little lines to kind of make it look like a striped scarf. And you don't have to be perfect with this because the scarf kind of looks sort of fluffy, so you wouldn't want perfectly straight lines anyway. So it just kind of finished off the little image, and I added a few little highlights to his button chest and to his nose. And then rather than just using the tags as is, I was thinking of punching a hole in the hat. I decided to mat it onto a piece of craft cardstock that I trimmed down. And then I just rounded the top edges with my little corner rounder punch. And then I adhered that with my Tombow Mono Multi. And once that was done, I grabbed my W3 Copic marker and quickly went around the edge of the snowman just to give it that little extra something. You know, it takes a few extra seconds, but it just kind of finishes it off so it's not just kind of floating there on the cardstock. So once I did that, quickly piled all 3 tags together, and you can actually do a lot more than just 3 depending on how many you're doing, and use my Crop-A-Dial to punch a hole through all of them at once. So I just eyeballed it, but sometimes it helps to mark with a pencil so that you get everything centered. And then grab my ribbon, which I think this is AmyR's ribbon, but I'm not sure. It was in my stash, and it's what totally inspired me to make his little scarf striped since the ribbon was striped and it was sitting right there. So I threaded some of that through and then just tied a little bow with some hemp cord. And then finally, to finish him off and give it a little bit of bling, I grabbed my Christmas red or Xmas red stickles for his little heart, and then some lime green stickles for the hat band and the bottom of the tag. That's all there is to it. So I didn't bother stamping any to or from because I thought that can all just be handwritten to give it a little bit more of a personal touch. And as always, there will be a link below to my blog post with links to all the supplies used. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!